All right, look, I haven't made a video like this in a fat minute. Nigga, it's been almost a whole month. A whole month. But I'm gonna get straight into it. I want this to make it kind of a short video because I'm a little bit on the time right now. Mostly because I haven't made a video in a long time. But today is going to be about how spirituality can be a trap. Now, some of y'all can be very confused on what that means. It could be a good and it could be a bad thing. Being trapped or being in a trap in a spirituality, meaning that it can make you go distant. It can make you rise your ego at a very high top. That's one of the bad things about spirituality, what a lot of people think. They think that they're better than others. That's basically on how that shit starts. That's basically how that shit starts. I'm kind of have to be a little bit quiet on the other side because my parents are sleeping right now and my nephew's sleeping. So as you can see, room is kind of different. I might be moving back. I'm not sure when, but the thing is, right, about spirituality, when you're on your shit, on one way that it can be a trap is if you're going back to the way you used to live. Now, what I mean by that, you could be watching a porn, be addicted to porn, right? Eating junk food, you're not on your shit, you're procrastinating, you know? And, you know, when that builds up, and here's on how that's basically how we live in today's age. There's no push or pull in our lives. So, and with TikTok and with the social media, a lot of things on our phones that we get really distracted to, which is why we get tired. A lot of people think that they're resting. They're not really resting because when you're constantly receiving information to your brain, you're going to end up having sensory overload, meaning that you're probably going to be in the brain bed rotting for the rest of the entire day, which is bad. Which is why I recommend y'all not to do that. Do not be on social media for that long. You know, TikTok is, we all know TikTok is the pure brain rot niggas over there. Just pure freezer soldiers, bro. Like, seriously. Like, if you go on TikTok, bro, there's no use. Like, it's useless. Useless information, brain rot, stupid. It's not really informative. Sometimes it can be. It's on depending what your algorithm is. Which is what I suggest for y'all to be on that algorithm is for informative, you know, side, for you can actually dial information that you need to know in this world, in this day and age, because there's a lot of people who are psyops. This world's going to shit, bro. You got the aluminum in the skies making people forget, the fucking Weapon X ticks and shit being created by Bill Gates. I think it's creating pack-a-punch ticks, bro. Shit is crazy. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, when you reach this, I mean like a small, like very small bit of power, when you're tapping into your spirit, start to lose yourself. Meaning that you can rise to the top, and the next thing that happens is that all it takes is one slip up, whether you're smoking weed, like I said, it's addicted to smoking weed, porn, or whatever. All it takes is one slip up to go back to your bad habits, and it's over. It's over. To be that consistent because you're trying to switch to a whole new lifestyle, it's fucking over, bro. And you start to look back at it, you'd be like, damn, I fasted for this many days, I worked out this consistent, I did this, I did that consistently, and you feel like a guy, bro. Like, you felt like you can do it. You felt more energized. You had the high vibration. And when you fuck up, bro, it's like you're back to day one. And that, I think it's like a psychological factor because that's how we think of it, that we fuck up once, bro, it's over, basically. But yeah, man, this is like more of like a comeback video. I haven't made a video, like I said, in almost a whole month. One of the things is, bro, y'all niggas gonna have to keep y'all brain healthy, bro. We live in a world in today's age that they're trying to get rid of basically thinkers. This world does not like thinkers at all. They don't like that shit. All they care about is workers. At least that's how I see it. You can kind of tell with all the shit that's been happening, a lot of shit getting exposed, a lot of people being on the brain factory wave, which they starting to know what's happening about the system, psyops, these free soldiers who are trying to control us. Shit, you might even see it at your job, bro, about how like your boss, the people, the way they walk around, like they look like bots. Seriously, like it's almost like when you reach that high level of consciousness, they start perceiving people different. Everything starts changing, bro. Like the energy, everything, it keeps shifting because now you're starting to perceive people differently. Now you're starting to wake up and realize what's happening in the world in today's age and how is it affecting us because of the fast food, because of the social media, TikTok, whatever, the phone. That's not how we're supposed to live, and we're not even supposed to be consuming information like that every day. And they do it for a reason. They do this to us for we can be distracted on a lot of things because we are very creative. Like I said, y'all, we are conscious and we are living energy. We are transferable energy. We can transfer energy to one person to another, and we can use that to be more creative. And the problem is with this world is that they're trying to destroy that, which you can already see with a lot of distractions that you probably see on your phone and with TV or whatever. It's everywhere around us. And they do that to us. Like, for instance, right? There's a thing called a God's gene. We all have a God's gene. There's a reason why we cannot use 100% of our brains. If we were able to use 100% of our brains, do you know what the fuck that means? Nigga, it would be... everything that we do would be accomplished. It would be, like, easily accomplished, meaning that everybody in one field can do it, which is why we don't have that percentage. There's no point. If we were able to access 99% of our brain, bro, it would be no competition. It'll be competition, but bro, like everything would be taken from this world. Literally, everything would be taken from this world. The stuff that we do, bro, like it'll be no room for other people to be able to do that shit, which is why. But on how the limits that we have to our brain, we get messages. We get a whole bunch of messages for certain aspects. Like for instance, if I want to be a YouTuber or a nurse or whatever, I start bringing ideas. The ideas start flowing in my head, and it really depends on if you're going to act on them or not. If you do not act on those ideas, it gets transferred to somebody else. Probably someone else that want to take your position. I've seen it multiple times, y'all, which is why I say that if y'all have an idea, if you're a YouTuber, bro, don't procrastinate on that shit. Make that fucking video, because I can guarantee you that, man, by the time that shit processes in your brain and you don't act on it, bro, like, it's already getting transferred to somebody else, and that person's gonna make something out of it. Now, this is for good examples of my book that I've been writing in. These are for people who are monitoring spirits. People who are watching you, people who are constantly watching your every move. Not even just that, evil people in this world, which is like a big majority, and a lot of people don't really talk about that. We have a lot of fucking evil people in this world, bro. And what I mean by evil, I don't mean by niggas who be wanting to snipe niggas. That's not what I mean. I mean niggas who are just who don't give a fuck about humanity. That's what I mean. People who don't give a fuck. People who don't want to make a change. That's what I see evil. It's people who will rather act on evil energy, negative energy, than positive. That's how I see it. Now look, these are the type of people that, at least that I wrote down. People who don't care about others suffering are the ones that are freezer soldiers in this world. Remember, freezer soldiers. They're mind controlled. Very mind controlled. They're slaves to their own brain. You gotta be careful around those people. They clown on you. Basically, they basically clown on you to make them look tougher or feel validated. And they do that by putting others down. And we see that a lot on the internet. It could be probably the most successful person in this world, right? Makes one mistake, everyone's shitting on that person's failure. And these are the same people. Like I said, this goes all the way back to karma. This goes back to free will and goes back to karma. And, But between those things, you're gonna have to expect it, because don't forget, we constantly, consistently have energy shifting around the world. That's how it works. We have energy shifts almost every single day. Same thing with spiritual warfare. It happens every single day for us. Every year, every single day, every month, every week, no matter. So when you have people who are on the internet, or people who are, in front of you, they likely don't do it in front of you, because what a lot of people don't tackle on is that the internet is actually a human experiment. It's a show on how other people perceive other people, and it also exposes on how they really are. When you think about that, a lot of people don't think about that. When you see those same people who are on the internet, and they're in person or IRL, they don't seem the way they are. You know what I mean? So on the internet, they're more comfortable. They're more comfortable with themselves. So they're actually able to express more of themselves. So that's why I say that the internet is more of like a human experiment, because it kind of really shows on how dumb people are. And meaning, what I'm trying to say about that is that people expose themselves on the internet by saying a lot of dumb shit or doing a lot of dumb shit. And I'm pretty sure y'all seen that on TikTok a lot of times, because niggas are dumb as shit. I ain't gonna lie. There's been a lot of niggas dumb as shit on that bit. But look, someone can do everything right, and still shit on them because they have that one failure. And usually, like I said, this is karma. And this can be people at your job. And one of the things, right, let me go back to this, right? I found a really good thing about this. And this is where the ego starts, right? So the ego is at the top. And you start becoming selfish, right? Start becoming more selfish. Then you start becoming a pleaser, right? Then after that, rebellious. After that, you start to become a master manipulator. You can start manipulating people. It's a power. Then you start being more critical on other people, on how you perceive other people. And then after that, you're enabling. Now, those things that I'm talking about, right? Those are the people that you gotta stay away from. People who are like that. Look, we have sympathy for people who are suffering in this world, all right? And a lot of people kind of like to kind of move around with that. They don't really care about people on this planet. It's bad, y'all. The fact that we kind of losing humanity in some sort of way, bro, we're gonna be cooked in the future. We're already cooked by now. We got people falling to psyops already with relationships, everything. And some of y'all gotta realize, bro, in a world like this, you're gonna have to keep going. You're gonna have to be delusional with the shit that you want to do, and you can't stop. You have to do it every single day. Every single day. It's tough, y'all. Now, for the last thing that I'm going to talk about, obviously about distractions. I talk about a lot of distractions on this planet, on how it's able to hinder you, which is why the entire goal. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't know, the entire goal in this world, right? What are they after? They're not after money. There's only one thing that they're after, and they've been going after for a very long time, is that third eye. The dopamine gland. That's all they care about. They know whoever is the highest of the high in this world, they know on how the brain works. They mastered it. They probably have scientists that tell them that about the brain, on how sensitive and how weak it is. Because if we do these things that constantly, every single day, we eat fast food, we consume information on the internet right when we wake up, it's gonna fuck us right in the bro. Nigga, we can't super counter that. That's damn near impossible, especially when you've been doing it since you were a kid, and the kids are doing it too. Bro, these niggas are cooked. They're not gonna be able to know what they're gonna be doing, especially when you have bot parents. If you have Frieza Soldier bot parents, and they have a kid, nigga, they're cooked. They're not going another way in life. Now, like I was saying, these distractions are spiritual hazards, right? They hinder your journey. Don't forget about that. The shit that you see on your screen, nigga, even I'm a distraction. I'm telling you, I'm giving you information. But the shit that you see is here to hinder your journey, right? Number 2, pulls focus away on Jesus, or whoever your believer is. It hinders your spiritual growth. That's what it does. That's what they want you. These higher ups, even, bro, y'all niggas gotta think about it, right? On who these higher ups are giving their energy to. Baal, a fucking demon, literally a fucking demon. You gotta start thinking about that. These niggas are worshiping a fucking DMC demon, bro. Niggas like, you can't even activate Royal Guard on. Like, you need Swordmaster to beat that nigga, do a whole bunch of combos. And you have these higher ups who are supporting a fucking demon to get what they want. I'm just gonna think about that shit, bro. Now, number 3. Now, the main reason why we can't achieve our goals, the main reason why we can't attack them, the reason why we can't go after them, is because we're overwhelmed. Like I said, the third eye. When you consume too much information, it starts going all over the place. Especially for people who have ADHD. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something about ADHD. ADHD is a superpower. A lot of niggas don't know that, but it is a superpower. The reason why we have a lot of distractions is because the smartest people on this planet that are very creative, that create a lot of things for this world. The reason why we have houses, lights, and shit, they all had ADHD. Every single one of them. And they found out a gateway to stop that. Literally, they found a gateway to stop that. Food, like I said, food, phones, everything around us is a distraction. Now, let me get into the last one. Distraction is viewed as a tactic. It is. It's a plan for us humans, for us to be mind controlled, to make us forget on a lot of things, and not for us to have our own brain. And they basically want us to be, why did I sound like that? What the fuck? They basically want us to be mind controlled. They want us to have a follower. We're not supposed to be following nobody. And the thing is that a lot of people don't realize this, but, look, I believe in God, all right? But God didn't want us to follow him. God wanted us to be like him. He wanted us to have a higher consciousness, bro. And a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people don't see this, but heaven is today. Heaven is right now. All it takes is one switch up. Heaven is right here. Heaven is higher consciousness. So you have to build yourself up in order for you to get that. You know what I mean? So if you're living in constant agony, right, you're going to have to make a shift in your brain. And all it takes is that you have to take care of yourself. You got to let go of everything that you can't control, right? Now, it's a tactic of spiritual warfare to the point where you will return to your old life if you fall into it. And that is how the universe works. Like I said, y'all, on how this universe works, we live on this planet, right? A blue trap bubble. That's where we live. In a third dimension. We live in a third dimension. We are avatars. We are the avatar. Our entire purpose on this earth. Now look, we can have fun. We can do whatever we want to do, right? You can go to your job, nigga. You can quit your job. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, because this is the third dimension. This is about you, not about anybody else, but about you. Whatever you need to do in order for you to reach whatever you need to reach in this life. Being a slave to your 9-to-5 job, to your boss, or whoever's ordering you around, you need to get away from that. These people are bots, like I said. They're not higher consciousness at all. They're programmed. They're psyops. They are born to be placed in that position for a reason. And one of the things last thing that I'm going to say is that either do it now or die later. That's it. Either do it now or die later. You can't wait. And this is for people who have been probably procrastinating. Like I said, I feel y'all. The reason why y'all procrastinate is not because y'all are lazy. Y'all are consuming fucking over-programmed information that y'all are not supposed to be doing every single day. That's not what we're supposed to do, which is why we have brain cramps, brain fog, brain fog, a lot of things, bro. And it like I said, and we fall for a lot of things on the internet that a lot of people don't have their own truth. They always like to follow other people's truth. So, which, like I said, I want y'all to get a fucking journal, right? Write down everything that has happened in your life, your lifestyle, the things that you want to do, affirmations. Affirmations is good for you. You need to, write down your experiences where you won't forget, where you can pass that down to whoever you want to help. It's very important, y'all. But look, I gotta go. I got Sparking Zero videos for y'all niggas outside, bro. So look, get prepared. This is for people who play Sparking Zero. I got a lot of good videos coming out for Sparking Zero. All right, that shit gonna be good as fuck. I can guarantee you that shit's gonna be good as fuck. All right, see y'all later.